So picture this. The big deal is finally done. The papers are signed, champagne's being poured, everyone's celebrating. But in that quiet moment after the party, there's this dangerous blind spot. It's a single step, one that gets missed all the time, and it can silently unravel the value of the very deal you just fought so hard to close. You know, a lot of people think that a signed contract is the finish line. But when it comes to your patents, it's really just the starting gun. That piece of paper, it signals the intention to do something, but it doesn't automatically secure your ownership. The deal isn't really done yet. And this really gets to the heart of the matter. See, legal protection isn't about some private handshake or a document tucked away in a file cabinet. No, it's about creating a clear, public, and frankly, undeniable record that the entire world can look up and see. This is the huge disconnect, right? On one hand, you're celebrating what feels like a completed deal. But on the other hand, in the official eyes of the patent office, absolutely nothing has changed. The record still lists the old owner, which means your company might not have the legal power it thinks it does. So what's the big deal if you wait? Well, the problems, they just multiply, quietly, in the background. Don't think of it like a loud explosion. It's more like a silent risk that just builds and builds over time, only to pop up when it's the most expensive and chaotic time to fix it. So what's the first hidden cost? Bam, your company's valuation. When you go for that next funding round or you're looking for an exit, investors, they do their homework. And unclear patent ownership, that's a massive red flag. It creates friction, it slows the whole deal down, and it gives them the perfect excuse to lower your price. And this one is absolutely critical. Until that ownership is officially on the books, you may not even have the legal standing to sue someone who's infringing on your patent. Just imagine that for a second. Someone is stealing your core technology, and your hands are legally tied. You can't stop them. That's the risk here. You know, during due diligence, messy records just scream disorganization. Investors need to see what's called a clean chain of title. That's a clear, unbroken history of who owned what and when. If they find gaps, it raises doubts not just about your IP, but about how you run the entire company. And when time kills deals, those doubts can be absolutely deadly. This isn't just about what outsiders think either. It creates drag inside your own company. Your engineers start asking, wait, can we build on this patent? Your product teams are unsure what tech is actually under the company's control. Everything just gets slower, more confusing, and full of hesitation. So, to quickly recap, these risks just pile on top of each other. You get a damaged valuation, you weaken your legal power to enforce your rights, due diligence becomes an absolute nightmare, and your own teams slow down. And believe me, these problems always seem to surface at the worst possible moment. Okay, so that's the problem. It's a pretty big one. So how do we actually fix it? Well, it all comes down to understanding the real mechanics of how patent rights are transferred. It's not magic. It's a very specific 3-step process. It all happens in 3 distinct stages. First, you have the contract. This creates the intention to transfer. But intention isn't enough, right? So you need the second step, the assignment. Think of this as the legal bridge that actually carries the rights from the old owner to the new one. And finally, this is the step everyone misses. You have recordation. This is the official filing that completes the journey and makes the transfer a public fact. You need all 3. You can't skip one. And just to be crystal clear, recordation is simply the formal process of telling the patent office about the change. You submit that assignment document, they update their official database, and now the whole world can see exactly who the new rightful owner is. Simple as that. Now, this whole process might sound straightforward, but you know what they say? The devil is in the details. Patent offices demand absolute, total precision. Getting every single detail right isn't just a good idea, it's non-negotiable. Just look at how a tiny little mistake can completely snowball. A small typo in a company name, a single wrong digit in a patent number. It seems so minor, doesn't it? But the result is painful. Rejection notices, delays that stretch on for months, and your valuable IP just trapped in legal limbo. All right, let's talk about some of the most common pitfalls we see. Mismatched legal names, like using Inc. when it should be LLC, that'll get your filing rejected instantly. A wrong patent number means that specific asset just gets left behind. And if you have a complex company structure, you have to be sure the right person with the right authority is signing the papers. Nailing these details up front will save you an incredible amount of time and money down the road. And if you thought that was complicated, just wait till you go global. The complexity just skyrockets. Every single country has its own unique set of rules. One country might need an original wet ink signature. Another needs a notary stamp. A third demands a certified translation. Honestly, trying to manage all this by hand, even for just a few countries, is a recipe for disaster. I know. This all sounds like a mountain of tedious paperwork, right? But this is where we need to make a really important mental shift. This process, it's not about bureaucracy. It's about turning what looks like an administrative task into real, tangible business power. And it all comes down to one crucial mindset shift. Just one. That's it. And here it is. Treat patent recordation like updating your payroll. I mean, think about it. You'd never hire someone new and say, oh, we'll get around to paying you eventually, right? Of course not. You do it immediately because it's a critical function. This is exactly the same. It's not an afterthought, it's a core operational task that secures your company's most valuable assets. And when you get this right, the payoff is massive. You'll fly through future due diligence. You'll build instant trust with investors and partners. You will gain unquestioned, full control to enforce, license, or sell your IP whenever you want. Your entire business can move faster and with more confidence. You literally turn a potential headache into a true competitive advantage. So I'll leave you with this question. Your big deal is signed. The celebration is over. But have you taken that final critical step to actually secure the value you worked so hard for? Is your ownership record clean? Is it public? And is it ready for whatever comes next? Because if it isn't, your value might not be nearly as secure as you think.